Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Hub back into the video today, and today we're going to be talking about the Milwaukee Bucks potentially trading for Andrew Wiggins, who is a one-time All-Star, one-time NBA champion, and also was the Rookie of the Year in the 2014-15 season with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Andrew Wiggins, who's been with the Golden State Warriors since the 2019-20 season, in a big trade with D'Angelo Russell and Andrew Wiggins, two guys who, now in this year's trade deadline are two guys who seems like nobody kind of wants. But that was a trade that happened with Minnesota and Golden State in the 1920 season, which I think, honestly, in my opinion, I think both trade worked out for both teams because Wiggins was a great help for the Warriors in their championship run. And then I know D'Angelo Russell didn't do good for Minnesota, but Minnesota traded away D'Angelo Russell for some good assets that are helping them now as they're the one seed or a top seed in the Western Conference. Like Mike Conley and a couple other players they acquired in that trade that are helping them now. I think Nickeil Alexander-Walker. So I don't think both trades were that bad for both teams, but now Wiggins and D'Angelo Russell are both struggling. We're not here to talk about D'Angelo Russell. I expect at least one or both of these guys to be moved tomorrow's trade deadline. But Andrew Wiggins, the Bucks are potentially interested. It's been reported that the Bucks and the Mavericks are interested, according to Bleacher Report. Wiggins is having the worst year of his career, though, this season with 12 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, 4.2, and then 2 assists per game. Defensively is one of his worst seasons of his career. I mean, he's not playing terrible defensively, but last year, look at last year, Golden State averaged 1.3 steals per game, 1 block per game. This year, he's only averaging 0.4 steals per game and 0.5 blocks per game. 42 games that he's played this season with 31 starts. He's averaging only 27.1 minutes per game, which is the lowest since he has been on the Golden State Warriors, and it's just been real tough. And then Let's avoid the 2022-23 season. He had a very solid year, averaged 17 points per game, but he only played 37 games with 37 starts. We all know he was dealing with the personal issues he was dealing with. That's why he missed a majority of the time he missed in the 2022-23 season. But the 21-22 season, when the Warriors won the championship, he was an all-star. He played 73 games with 73 starts, 31.9 minutes per game with Golden State. He averaged 17.2 points per game. Over 2 assists per game, 2.2, nearly 5 rebounds per game with 4.6. Also averaged 1 block per game and 1 steal per game. From 3, he shot 39%. That's another thing that's gone down a lot for him this year. This year he's only shooting 31%, which is the lowest he has shot since his second season in the NBA in the 2015-16 season. Compare the last 2 previous seasons before that. 2022-23 season, even though he wasn't playing that much, shot 40%. This season, the 21-22 season, shot 39.3%. 2021 season, shot 38%. 2019-20 season, shot 33%, or 33.2%. So what would a trade for Andrew Wiggins to the Bucks look like? I am near 100% sure that the asking price in a trade with the Bucks for the Warriors, unless it's if it's not a 3-team deal, I would think the asset that the Warriors would 100% want is Bobby Portis. The Warriors are very weak on the rebounding side, and Bobby Portis is one of the best rebounders on the Bucks. In only 23.9 minutes per game this season, Portis is averaging 7 rebounds per game. Alongside his 7 rebounds per game, he is also averaging 13 points per game. He was a 6th Man of the Year candidate last season. The 22-23 season finished 3rd place in voting, and he's played 51 games this year with 1 start. That's why he is a 6th man, and only 24 minutes per game. His field goal percentage is also 49 or near 50% at 49.6%. His 3-point percentage is also better than it was last year at 38%. So I would think that would be the asking price for the Warriors if they're trading Wiggins to the Bucks, but I don't know why the Bucks would let go of Portis for Wiggins unless they're trying to improve their defense, would be my guess, and it would bring in better 3-point shooting. Even though Portis is shooting way better from three this season than Wiggins. But I think I don't really know what to think about what this potential trade would look like or why the Bucks would do it. Why they would give up Bobby Portis for Andrew Wiggins. If Andrew Wiggins becomes that, the player he was in the 21-22 season for the Warriors, the all-star and the guy that helped them win a championship. And let's go to the playoffs with Golden State in the 2021-22 season. He was dominant for them. They pull up his stats in the playoffs. In the playoffs that year for Golden State, he's only been in the playoffs 3 times in his career, but in 22 games of 22 starts, he averaged 35 minutes per game with 17 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, 2 assists per game, 1 steal per game, and 1 block per game. And from 3 for the Warriors, he shot 34% in the playoffs in 22 games for the Golden State Warriors when the Warriors won the NBA championship. So unless he becomes that player, I just don't know how this would be a W trade for the Milwaukee Bucks. For Golden State, I think this would be a great trade for them. Obviously, Wiggins, he was a great asset for them in the 21-22 season when they won the championship, but he is not that same player anymore, and they're very weak on the rebounding end, and Bobby Portis would bring great help, with rebounding. He's not a center. He can play center. He's a power forward, but I really think he'd be better than anybody that's been trying to help the Warriors at that center position, whether it's been Draymond or it's Kevon Looney. I like both of those guys, but I really believe neither are natural centers. I think Bobby Portis, even though he is a power forward, it would be more of a natural center than Draymond or Kevon Looney. He's a better rebounder. I think he's a better offensive player than both of them as well. Obviously, Draymond is the best defensive player on that list, but I think he's the best rebounder out of Draymond and Kevon. And honestly, if you're the Warriors and you can get Bobby Portis for Andrew Wiggins, you're doing it in a heartbeat. But I just don't know why I would see the Bucks doing that. But let me know your thoughts on the potential trade in the comment section. And peace out.